I mean, this is going to be a real shock to the system, especially if you're a Florida local, because we're not used to high temperatures in the 40s with the wind blowing. It's going to feel like you're at a football game up north. And because of that, both tomorrow and Sunday are impact days. That means you need to stay weather aware. And here's what's going on. Cold fronts moved through. Coldest weather in 4 years moving in this weekend. We've got a freeze on the way for tomorrow night across most of central Florida, and it's going to be a light freeze for a lot of us, but a hard freeze for some of us, and either way, it could cause some damage to our sensitive tropicals. Right now, it's 49 in Gainesville. 58 degrees in Orlando, so that weather's moving in. By tomorrow morning, we're going to see temperatures bottoming out about 38 in Orlando, so a big change on the way for tomorrow morning. So right now, and as we head toward those early morning hours, we're going to see each hour temperatures falling rapidly. 32 tonight in Gainesville for a light freeze up there, but we're going to have to wait for tomorrow night before that light freeze works into central Florida. Part of the reason, the winds are very gusty. In fact, they're gusting to 29 miles per hour in Ocala, sustained at 23. So we're starting to see the real push, that push of cold air. It's cold and dense, and it makes for some pretty wicked wind chills. In fact, feeling like 25 to 30 tomorrow morning for several hours between 7 and 10. And it's a wind chill advisory as a result. Everything highlighted in pink, which is most of the state with the exception of Pinellas County. Speaking of Tampa Bay, tomorrow is Gasparilla, the pirate invasion, the annual pirate invasion, and it is going to be so cold, as they say, they're going to freeze off their booty. You know, pirate booty, treasure. Yeah. Wind chills, feels like temperatures. Tomorrow morning, it's going to feel like it's below freezing, upper 20s around Leesburg, mid 20s up and around Gainesville. And even during lunchtime, I mean, not much improvement. We're all going to see that feels like temperature warming up to about 35 degrees through lunchtime. I mean, that is a cold day despite the full sunshine. And during the afternoon, with the high temperatures in the upper 40s, it's only going to feel like it's about 40 degrees. And then there's tomorrow night when the actual temperature itself does in fact fall below freezing, around 30 in Orlando and about 24 up in Gainesville. With a wind that's left over, it's going to feel like it's in the lower to middle 20s. Now, the wind on Sunday morning will be very light. We're talking about less than 5 miles per hour. But when it's as cold as it is, you can have a wind chill factor if you close your car door too fast, too hard. Yeah. Here's the forecast. We're going to see those temperatures falling from where they stand down to 39 tomorrow. A wind blowing 48 and then down to below freezing. The wind dying out. The radiational cooling commencing, where you have clear skies, the wind dies, and all the heat kind of radiates up into space, leaving one behind that really chilly weather. Now, we do have some warmer changes ahead, but we've got to get through this tonight first. A freeze warning for north central Florida. That is Gainesville, western Putnam County points north. And then tomorrow night, a hard freeze watch for north central Florida, and then a freeze watch for Orlando. And that is for expected temperatures to fall below freezing. And here they are. Our forecast: 30 in Orlando, 24 in Ocala, 24 in Gainesville. Want to have a note on this especially. A lot of computer models coming in a little bit warmer, some a lot colder. With this kind of a situation, it's all about the wind. If the wind stays up tomorrow night, we're going to be a little bit warmer, but if it calms down for even an hour, we could see those temperatures dropping very fast, even lower than the current forecast. And so when we're talking about so much on the line, we've got farms, we've got the crops, we've got the fruit crops, not to mention obviously backyard tropical plants. It's better to play it safe and make sure you cover up any plants you don't want to lose in a freeze. Of course, remember to cover up some of the pipes if you're up here in north central Florida. And for your pool, just leave your pool on, leave the pool pump going all night so that you don't have water stagnant in the pipes, freezing up and then possibly bursting those pipes, because we're going to be looking at a freeze duration of between 3 and 5 hours for places like Seminole County, all the way up in inland Volusia, Lake, Sumter counties. And then once you get up into North Florida, 6 to 8 hours below freezing. That's enough to put some of those pipes in your home in jeopardy if they're not insulated. Orlando, the freeze will be about 1 to 2 hours. Not as long, but certainly enough to produce a widespread heavy frost and also the potential for some damage to plants. Along the coastline, thanks to the warm adjacent waters of the Atlantic, the freeze less than an hour, or there won't be a freeze at all right on the beaches. Fox 35 storm tracker radar quiet here locally, but this is all part of a bigger system. That cold air being pulled in behind the big bomb cyclone for the northeast. It's called that because it gets so strong so fast it bombs out. That's the weather jargon for that. And they're talking about some serious snow. It's already really coming down around Baltimore up into Philly, but storm totals off of Boston, Cape Cod area, Taunton, Massachusetts, down through Natick, 18 to 28 inches. That's a lot of snow. There could be spots approaching 30 inches. So it's going to be a big snowstorm. They'll be digging out. We'll be thawing out Sunday. overnight tonight, just to remind you, we're not going to see the freeze tonight in the Orlando metro. The freeze is going to be for North Florida. It's tomorrow night. So here's that forecast. I mentioned that we're going to warm things up, right? Talked about how this is going to be a little bit of almost a hot on the heels kind of a situation, quite literally, because look at this. Once we get into Tuesday, after all this cold stuff, after record lows Sunday morning of 30, breaking record all the way from 1966, we're up into the 70s by February 1st. Tuesday, Groundhog Day on Wednesday. You know, when the groundhog sees his shadow, he runs back into his hole and we get 6 more weeks of winter. Well, in this case, I don't think he's going to see it because we're going to be in the 80s. Yeah, spring arriving this time next week, at least Florida style for now. This may be all but just a distant memory. Hopefully our plants forget it quickly as well, but I fear we may see a lot of burnt tropicals in area yards.